In 1938, a small Swiss brand made a pilot's watch, with a strange little complication that pointed to the date. 50 years later, this watch would save the company from extinction. This is the Oris pointer date. Oris created the watch originally for pilots. Instead of using the boring date window, Oris designed a fourth central hand with a red crescent tip that pointed to a date scale printed around the outer edge of the dial. Simple, elegant, and highly legible. At the time, Oris was a relatively small Swiss manufacturer in Holstein, focused on affordable mechanical watches. The pointer date stood out because it combined functionality with its distinct mechanical complication. It became one of the few Oris models to survive across multiple eras, from the mechanical days to the quartz crisis, and then its revival. During the quartz crisis, Oris sold to what's now known as the Swatch Group, but in 1982, the company's management actually bought them back from the Swatch Group, which returned Oris to its independent ownership, which is one of the few companies still around that's independently owned. When I hold this watch, it's not just about vintage charm. It's about resistance. The idea that something mechanical can survive an age of convenience. Like it always has, it just beats. This particular Oris came from a time when people made phone calls over text, when people had patience and longer attention spans. The year is 1990. What was going on in the 90s? It was the end of the Cold War. Bill Clinton became president. We had the rise of the internet. We had boy bands and blockbuster video. People love seeing something survive. When I see a vintage watch, it triggers that same awe as watching a 100-year-old tree grow. This Oris pointer date has outlived its first owner, and it will probably outlive me too. When I wind this watch, I'm not restarting the watch. I'm continuing someone else's story. And maybe someone someday will continue mine. This 1990s Oris pointer date is absolutely stunning. It has character that you can't find in watches today. It has a fourth hand that has a red crescent moon shape that points to the pointer date. Oris actually invented this complication, which is saying something coming from a small Swiss manufacturer. The dial is simply stunning with that wave pattern going on in the middle. There's a lot to look at, and what I'm assuming is a hesylite crystal, due to all the scratches that you could see under certain lights, gives it a warm, distorted hue, which I find pretty charming. This watch is small, humble, creative, warm, and a talking piece. And how thin the watch is gives it such that vintage beauty. This one I was able to get on the original bracelet, which is got signs of wear due to its loose links, but I think it's stunning and it fits the watch so well. The pointer date isn't just the watch that saved Oris. It's proof that time favors what's built to last. And maybe that's the point of wearing something old. It shows character, life, and charm. I think Oris overall is an underrated brand that doesn't get a lot of love, but I also think they're one of the coolest brands out there. I think it shows something when, during the quartz crisis, like many other brands, they had to sell, but Oris did something that not many brands do, is they bought themselves back, which I think is super cool. And sometimes people have a connection, well, whatever. I need a closing statement. Let me know in the comments what you think about the Oris pointer date, and share your vintage watches that you own. As always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week. Good enough. Good enough. Oh, my knees. Brother man.